Hello and welcome to this week's episode of 9 to 5 Nerds with Robert Swathwood, Corey Urkel,
Hi.
and Brian Passafiume.
Hi there.
You're going to have to wait 1 second now because I got to write something.
These little Ninja Turtle things are cool. Oh, this one is. I don't know what the hell this is.
That's not a Ninja Turtle.
No, this one is.
That is a Ninja Turtle.
It's Donatello.
Don't play with stuff on the counter. It's going to affect the volume of the...
You're on your phone right now.
Yeah, but this is all still recording.
I'm just looking at Pokemon recipe. If you want to cook a Pokemon, now you know how.
Yeah, there's only one way. So this week's episode will be Wonder Woman. It came out a couple days ago, so we're a little behind. First things first. So I always get to the movie theater before Corey. Always.
You bring this up?
Yeah, I'm going to bring this up.
Ugh.
I always get to the theater before Corey, so I'm in line. He's like, I'm going to be there right at 10. So I was like, all right. So I get there, and I don't see him. It's like 9:59. Yeah, I was a minute early. I looked at my clock. So that's... Anyways, my phone.
Your phone is your clock.
Yeah, so I was like, hey, where are you at? And he's like, I'm upstairs. And I was like, oh, well, I already bought your ticket. Now I have to go refund it. Because I was going to buy your ticket.
You took forever.
So since he was already upstairs, I was like, all right, I don't want to eat super expensive movie food.
Mm-hmm.
There's a McDonald's right there. It's 10 in the morning. I was like, I'm going to go get a sausage McMuffin.
You're at Parkway?
Yeah. So I go and I get the sausage McMuffin and I go back up. And the entire time, this guy has his fucking new girlfriend hiding behind a pillar waiting for the possibility of me coming up to catch me off guard. So I waited in line.
Oh, we were standing together up until you come up the escalator.
Okay, so you were keeping your eye out?
Yeah.
She wouldn't make... I have it in my mind that you make her eyes
No!
out.
We were talking for like 20 minutes just like this.
Okay.
We gotta keep an eye out for this guy.
Because, I'm usually pretty punctual.
Yeah. We're gonna buy an extra ticket?
So then I shoved the sausage McMuffins in my pockets and went into the movie.
Did you eat them?
I did.
I didn't notice.
You had planned to introduce him or surprise him, or what was the...
I already know her.
What was the goal of this?
Robert didn't hear anything about it.
To catch me off guard.
About the officialness, or her just being
That
there?
he was dating anybody at all.
Oh.
That I asked her out or dating or not anything.
You keep it close to the chest?
Yeah,
Alright.
I did the same thing to my family. They had no idea.
You consider me family?
No,
It's a friend's joke. Never mind.
Yeah. People in my household had no idea what I was going out for.
And it's not like you've been dating for a year.
No, it's been like 2 weeks at this point.
So Wonder Woman. Do we want to go like from beginning to end? Because I'm going to Armand White the shit out of this movie. Or
You should go through, since you have bullet points, you should read them off and then we'll all like remember it better, I think. Because it's been 2 days now, or I guess.
Who's Armand White?
he is a movie...
is that the guy with the negative review of the one thing that...
Yeah, he hates everything that everybody likes, and he likes a bunch of shit nobody likes.
Okay.
What'd you guys think of the new DC intro?
Where they flash all the
different
heroes.
superheroes.
I don't mind it. It's more in line with how Marvel is right now.
Yeah.
It was creative.
I mean,
Well, I feel like
it's better than the dour like DC logo before, where it's all like it's moody and dark, and
I feel like this movie was a success.
No, you feel it.
What? That it was different. That
The
it
old
wasn't all
DC
sour.
logo kind of was.
Well, they changed the DC logo because it used to be the D, and
With
then it
the
was
page
and
falling off.
it was pulled over, and then they went back to the looks like the blue circle.
Yeah, but this one's color and vibrant.
Yeah.
I feel like so far this movie, regardless of how I feel about it, this movie has positive reviews because it is more of a Marvel movie than a DC movie. As far as not tone, battle sequences, there's a mild bit of humor in it, whereas in the other ones, there's no humor. Where this one, there was humor in her being naive and him trying to teach her certain things about the world.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna make the comparison. It's very much like one Marvel movie.
Captain America?
So much so. There's so many things that are like not nearly identical, but when one of the main characters...
My next note is shield throw is too much like Captain America.
When one of the main characters named Steve takes a Nazi plane and has to...
It's not Nazis, it's World War One.
Sorry, let me rephrase that. An evil German plane with a secret weapon in it that can destroy the Allies and has to crash said plane and sacrifice himself. Yeah, it's a little on the nose, isn't it?
See, some of the stuff that I wrote down, though, was...
gibberish, I can see.
Yeah, I was writing in the dark, thank you. But like this one, where was it? This one says Poison Lady all of a sudden remembers a new formula for a poison that's gonna, even though she just lost her book that had all her notes in it. But at the end, it shows Ares whispering.
Came back and revealed.
Yeah, so I'm like, okay, I can't use that one anymore.
Yeah, because that was a dumbass. Well, the dumbass thing to still take away from it is, yeah, I invented a super soldier serum. Here you go, General, just for you. And like that should be the thing you're mass producing for all the soldiers to have, right?
A super soldier serum.
Yeah, but that would be even more on the nose than like the movie they're trying to not be.
I feel like my first bullet point, besides Blade Runner, and cool new DC intro, was. Have
you not seen the Blade Runner trailer?
I had, but it's always cool. Well, we haven't talked about it in here, and it's always cool to see a good trailer in the theaters. I feel like the Queen spent, how many years saying that she couldn't be trained, and then all of a sudden it was like, well, we need to train her, and finally she's like, okay. Like, there was no... It goes back to you and your American History X, there not being enough time for her. It's not like her sister was trying to sway her into training her. It was just all of a sudden, it's like, you need to train her. It's like, okay. There was no, like, back and forth between them.
I'm curious, because we don't know. Little Diane was she was a cute little kid. She had some of the best lines in the beginning. Would you guess that she's, like, she didn't age from 1940 to now? That she is super old, and when they showed her at 8, that could have been, like, in 1000, BC.
I guess.
Or something.
Seeing as her mom and sister fought how long ago?
Yeah, they were in Greeks, and I don't know when actually was that
time period is.
Was that before Jesus? See, I'm not too good on dates.
This goes back to that history game we played. We didn't know anything.
But let's just say, if it wasn't close, whatever. The Romans came after Greeks, and they're the ones who.
It has to be before Jesus.
I would think so. So they've been around a long time, so obviously they don't age and they don't die. So I don't know how long she's supposed to have been around, but I'm guessing she ages like Wolverine, maybe.
Yeah.
So even if she started training at 10 to like, what is she supposed to be, 29 or whatever, how old she really is, Gal Gadot.
Yeah. No, she's 32, 33?
She's, sir.
So I just wanted
she served in the Israeli army, right?
You have to.
Yeah.
Yeah. But doesn't mean it's like combat troop.
No, but it doesn't matter. None of us have served in any military service.
They do a lot of different things because everybody serves it.
Well, I know, like Korea does the same thing where everybody has to serve.
Yeah, and it could be almost like just public service in a way. It's not always like military. Like
I've heard that she was like actual.
She could have been. I don't know. I'm just saying.
Are you looking it up?
No, I have my notes up. I can't though while we're talking. Keep going.
Yes. Look up what she did in the Israeli army, because that really has reference or importance to this. I already mentioned the shield throw.
When did she throw it exactly?
It was earlier in the movie.
Okay.
It was.
I don't remember nothing. Her shield bouncing and coming back.
Did it? I don't remember if it came back to her, but it just reminded me of a Captain America throw.
I'm gonna throw out a gripe that wasn't mine, but I heard somebody complain.
She is 32. You were right.
I didn't say it.
Same age as me, so.
Ooh. That she stayed, like, absolutely perfectly pristine and clean, despite, like, running through the trenches and, like, throwing herself into a building and destroying it with all the rubble, that she came out with no dust on her. And this person at work said in Batman vs. Superman she got dirty when she was fighting. But I was like, I didn't even notice that. I guess that should be, like, a legit complaint that I would have, but I was...
You were looking
nobody's going to make Gal Gadot look ugly right now.
No. It'd be a tough job anyways.
She also won Miss Israeli at 13.
Well, you can get married at 13.
Oh, no, sorry. 13 years ago. 13 years. She was 21. So, 19.
Is that when her modeling career took off and she came over here, started acting?
One of my biggest problems wasn't as much with the movie is I can't fucking stand when people clap during a movie. I don't even like when you clap after the movie, but like Star Wars, a new Star Wars movie hadn't come out in how long?
When Han Solo appeared.
That shit bothers me. I don't like it. Don't clap and cheer during the movie.
Don't go during opening weekend, bro.
Yeah, but how often does that happen?
It seems to happen more often now.
You're just going to movies more often
I think earlier is what it is.
Maybe.
What did we hear a couple of times? Like when
Yeah, and I'm just like...
when she put on, was it her uniform for the first
But
time?
both of you... We looked at each other and we're
A couple
just like,
times.
what?
Yeah.
I have no problem with it because I do it. I didn't do it in this movie, but I have.
He's one of the worst... He's one of the worst fucking people to go to a movie.
What movie was it that we saw where you were like, fuck this, I'm not going
It was
anymore?
a Jet Li movie.
What the fuck?
It was me and Zach, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
and I was like, I'll never go to a movie with you again.
You cheered at a Jet Li movie?
They're cheering, and not only cheering, but when they're not cheering, they're talking in their regular fucking voices.
Okay,
And-
I can tell you right now, Zach's way worse because we went to a movie. I went to a movie with him like after that. At some point, and I was like, dude, you gotta bring it down. But I'll do the cheer like when the Zords came out and they
Yeah.
did the thing.
Real cool.
A little bit of that.
That was actually the coolest moment of the movie for me.
Yeah.
It's just still like, best part of a shitty movie.
So what if you have like a child doing this? Like does that bother you or just is it more like adults? Like
I just
like
don't.
fanboys.
I don't like adults cheering for it. It's not a sporting event.
Yeah.
It's a movie that you paid. You're supposed to keep quiet during the movie.
That's
I mean,
what the thing in the beginning says.
yeah, I understand people laughing when something's funny. That's not a controlled thing. But I don't uncontrollably start clapping my hands for a movie.
It just said she did 2 years mandatory. I didn't find anything else about exactly what.
The Amazonian armor sucks. Fucking Wonder Woman has metal armor, but every other person only has leather armor. Obviously, the Amazons didn't know or Amazonians didn't know they were going into battle against firearms.
I thought they were going to
But they just got fucking laid out.
be like the Supreme Warriors, but they actually got taken out in the beach a lot.
Their tactics and the way that they move is badass. But
If they attacked us, they should have just stayed on the cliff and shot arrows down. And not.
they could have shot
charged
up
them.
at him.
Yeah, but when you have the high ground,
Yeah,
you can literally hide and shoot arrows, whatever. Again, the battle's just, that battle, I was like, there's
No.
an infinite number of guys. There's like 20 guys rushing off the beach, and every time they showed more people fighting, it looked like by the end of it, like 100 Germans had died. But
the first bullet that was fired, Wonder Woman looked and saw it pass. Did it move slower for her, or did that scene just move in slow motion? Because if they're that strong, you'd have to assume that they can run faster than a normal human being, right?
She's different from them, but
That's
I assume,
the point I was gonna make. Is that she's half god,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I don't think they're even anything.
Is she whole god?
They have to be
is.
something because they've been living for thousands of years.
Well, that's what I was wondering. Is like how do
Well-
you get shot with one bullet and die? Where she was getting thrown across
Well,
different set pieces and not damaged.
Amazonians were created as a race different from men. But they're still mortal. Like, I mean, I guess there's.
They're mortal, like elves are mortal. Like you live
Yeah.
forever, but you can be killed.
Yeah, but she's a complete thing altogether.
Yes,
She's
I
different.
understand. But okay, so
So I assume when she focused, she could see. That's how she dodges bullets. Like her reflexes are super fast.
okay, so that's fine. That wasn't one of my complaints. I just brought that up. The Amazon armor sucks, but they have to be. They have to be stronger than men, right? I mean, just the way that they moved and everything. You don't see fucking regular people backflipping off of horses or jumping super high in the air and shooting
Maybe
3
they're
arrows
the peak of
like Captain America.
Yeah, but against guns and bullets, what exactly going to do?
Captain America got shot in the stomach by one of those fucking things in the Avengers, and it didn't even hurt him. That always bothered me.
He got shot in the stomach and died in the death of Captain America.
Yeah, but in the Avengers movie, he got shot with one of those alien laser
Blasters.
guns, and nothing happened to him. He just fell on the ground. I was like, ow.
Peak physical ability, dude.
Well, then fucking, what are those people going to do? I mean, those aliens were terrible then. Their weapons were, they can come through a fucking wormhole in the sky, flying through space, but their weapons don't hurt.
That's
human
like
flesh.
the trope of like all movie, like stormtroopers suck at shooting. Their lasers, whenever they hit somebody who's good, doesn't hurt them.
Not in episode 7.
You hit one stormtrooper, and no matter where you hit them, they're dead.
Yeah.
You hear them scream, and they fall over and die in the most obnoxious way.
See, I don't like that you guys aren't arguing this is good when I'm bringing up all these problems. You're supposed to be arguing against me. You're not supposed to be agreeing with me.
I agree with the fact that they can get killed. I just don't think they're gods. I think they're just peak training.
How does this tiny little bomb out of Chris Pine's airplane blow up an entire factory? That thing was like the size of 2 hand grenades.
There must have been explosives inside of it.
I
Was it just a factory, or because they were making ammunition in there, weren't they?
Oh, I guess, they were making ammunition.
yeah.
Okay.
Although it's not a good factory, so it's just one little spark or whatever.
Yeah.
Blow it all up.
I did get the feeling that at one point when she was leaving that it's like, no, Mom, I'm not going to listen to you. I'm going to do what I want, which is like a fucking little kid.
That is exactly how it was.
Yeah.
But
No,
that's kind of what it was. And that was her mom, and that's what she said.
Yeah. I'm going to do what I want.
So, one point, have you brought up anything about her returning to Themyscira?
No.
Okay,
I don't know how to pronounce that shit.
So,
Mascara?
Oh, she got mascara?
no. So, I was wondering, well, I read this online, and
You may not ever be able to return.
Well, yeah, is you, like, physically can't, or, like, you're banished? Which one do you think it would be?
They don't know where it's located. How are they going to find it? It is hidden. It was found by accident before.
If Nazis can get there by accident, I assume she could. But whether or not I think it's the same thing. Could she find it, or would she die?
So you think it was? So you think she's banished?
No, I think just by her lady saying you may never return, being you might not find it, or you might die out there. I don't think it's like you're banished.
So you think it's more of a warning, not a statement saying you cannot?
That's how I interpret it.
Okay.
Especially if people could just wander in there accidentally and find it wasn't lost where you had to magically get to the island. It was
because a point was made from what 19? When is this 19? What year are we doing this?
oh, World War One.
Yeah.
19 it's in the early the teens.
Okay. So
19 teens.
Mid 19 teens up until now.
What?
She never went back to Themyscira.
Maybe it was the decade before, but it was 1900 to 1920. I don't know, somewhere in there. I'm guessing closer to 1914.
1914 to 1918. Nice.
Yeah.
I wasn't that far off. I thought it was late teens to early 20s.
So what? She ever went back?
It just that was the question that was posed. Did she go back in the 80, 90, 100 years between the end of this movie and
that's in Wonder Woman too.
Yeah.
I mean,
We know she could have. She could have spent half her life until Batman vs
it
Superman.
was a little cheesy to get the picture and then look.
Let me tell you my because he's like, let me tell you.
I have
tell
no
my
problems
story.
with that. You have to get back there.
You want to tie in?
Yeah.
So you have the Wayne logo.
When were waffle cones invented?
Let's find out.
No, I know when they are
you
now.
did.
But I was like, did they have waffle
Were they
cones?
before?
When do you think they were invented?
Oh, I don't know, 1880s.
Why? What happened to a regular? Were waffle cones the first cones, or were?
No idea.
I didn't have a waffle cone for a long time. I had always the cheap little ones you got at Thrifties that were made out of
Good too.
yeah. Waffle cones were invented in 1904, so it was historically accurate.
Okay.
My biggest that was just such a small detail
You're
that
trying
you
to
saw.
nip it, motherfucker.
Oh yeah, I told you I was gonna Armand White this shit. That when they throw the gas into that chamber and then they throw the one gas mask in and then they lock the door. That was out of a spoof movie. They're like, but the gas mask won't help. And they literally look at each other and they give the worst laugh.
You know that's the old Batman TV show where the Joker or the Riddler and the Joker will make some statement. Now we're done.
It was so bad.
What? God, that was a Captain America thing. Didn't the Red Skull kill the German high command who came and doubted his new technology in the war?
He did. Yeah. Yeah. Legitimately, there were a few spotty CG moments.
Agreed.
Well, I was watching it and I was like,
Which ones particularly?
not close-up shots of her, but like long shots that looked a little spotty.
I thought when Chris Pine was flying away from the explosion, that looked.
I can say that.
That looked a little odd.
I was just trying to think of shots.
I mean, it was not as bad as Game of Thrones with the dragon, and
That bothered you.
yeah. Apparently, the watch that she was given was fucking god-proof because everything else blew up, but the watch was fine.
When?
At the end of the movie, she got the watch before she fought Ares.
And you mean on her person it didn't get damaged?
Yeah. Where did she hide it?
Right in the cleavage.
All right. And I love Harry Potter. My least favorite Harry Potter ending was when he's flying off on the firebolt and it freezes and he's like, yeah.
And that's how
The ending is her
and-
just flying.
And that's how this year went at Hogwarts.
Yeah.
Dun-dun-dun.
Yeah.
That was on my list too.
Those are my gripes for the movie.
I don't know. That didn't end. That's funny. I heard pose. I was like, that's kind of cool. I I don't think a Marvel movie's ended that way, has it? With an action pose.
No.
It started that way in the second Avengers, where all of them are coming from the left.
Yeah, that was
That was cool.
That's a cool scene. So that's all the little notes you took?
Yeah. I probably would have taken more, but my pen stopped working some of the time, and I couldn't see half the time.
So, the movie was kind of well, obviously, 3 acts. I disfavored, it was okay, but the whole island, everything that happened on it. And I
That
thought,
was your favorite part?
no, I just liked it the most. I hate it.
You hated it?
I don't know how to say it. It was my least favorite. When she got into the actual war, or going back to England and all that, when, even the island was okay when Chris Pine came in. That guy, he had the best lines.
So you can't handle a movie just about women until a man comes in?
It was like the chemistry between them. Like the Amazonian ladies, I was just like, I'm not feeling it. I don't feel like the acting, even though that what's her name is from Princess Bride or whatever her name is.
Robin Wright?
Yeah,
That was her?
Yeah,
Yeah, I was
old,
looking at her. I'm like, well, she's been around forever,
Yeah.
man. She's married to the guy that played Angel in X-Men 3. Ben Foster?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's cool.
There's a big age difference.
I did not know that.
You might want to look it up. Maybe I just made it up.
I didn't feel anything when the Amazonians died. I didn't feel tension.
I thought Robin Wright's death scene was actually really good. She got shot.
She the one who died?
And
Okay.
Wonder Woman's holding her. I thought that was really
Now
good.
that I, for 25 minutes so far, have just talked shit about this movie, what?
I'm just waiting to hear.
And I was hoping that somebody would argue against me, and you didn't.
Do you like the first half better than the second half? Is that what?
Now that anybody that's listening to our podcast for the first time is pissed because we're just women-hating men.
Oh, I'll put this movie above all the other DC movies.
Not only that, I had no problem with any part of the entire movie.
We're talking about the DC Extended Universe movies.
Yes.
Okay.
I put this up
Oh
there.
yeah.
No, Sorry, guys.
Disclaimer. I'm not talking about any of the Batman trilogy.
I hold this just as high as the Christopher Nolan movies. I like this movie from beginning to end.
You put this
Yes.
on par with Dark Knight?
Yes. I liked it that much. I thought it was awesome.
I couldn't.
I thought the action was incredible. I thought that the chemistry between Chris Pine and Gal Gadot was great. I loved watching the fucking Amazons jump off their horses and shoot bows and all that stuff. My only real gripe was that part with the gas. I hated that when they came out of there. I was just like, come on. But this was better than the first Captain America.
This guy that I follow
I
on
agree.
Twitter says it is the best superhero movie. The best superhero movie since The Dark Knight. Better than Winter Soldier,
Yeah, I wouldn't say
which
that.
I loved. Maybe my number 2 comic book movie ever. I screenshotted that specifically for this podcast.
I felt
Who was? Well, I just saw a list that put Cap as the number 1 Marvel movie.
First one, second one.
First one. Yeah, I was like, this is bullshit. I watched this, and as soon as I saw that Doctor Strange came in at 14 and Thor Dark World came in at 10, I was like, no, this is a stupid fucking list. Whoever made this list doesn't know what they're talking about.
Everybody's entitled to their opinion. But-
Yeah, but I mean, when we have something like, as much as you may or may not like Rotten Tomatoes, is once we have something like, I refer to Metacritic because I commented on this this thread of this guy making this list, and I'm like, he put, I think he put Thor above Civil War. There was a few that were like, you could argue Winter Soldier better than Guardians of the Galaxy and vice versa. I like Guardians of the Galaxy better.
Yeah.
But I mean, they're both great. But to put Captain America above like Winter Soldier is way better.
I agree.
And I screenshotted it, and it's actually rated as Captain America has gotten better reviews as they've gone on.
Yeah.
Right now, Wonder Woman's currently at a 93%. I think it was at 76 on Metacritic.
76 or 78, pretty high.
That's really high.
Yeah. No, it was really good. And I mean, regardless of how you feel about me thinking it's just as good, you have to admit that it was a really good movie.
No, I think it's a good movie. I wouldn't put it. My cousins have said something they didn't watch Guardians 2 because they heard it was a bad movie, and I just can't comprehend that. I think I'd put Guardians 2 still above this.
Yeah, well, I put Guardians 1 and 2 above. I like it better than the Batman movies. I think the combination of action, comedy, and it just being like nothing else makes it...
I think Dark Knight's 1 or 2 for me, so that will never.
I like Dark Knight a lot, but I put Guardians and for me Logan above it, and it's not because like Wonder Woman's really really good, but it is not something that's unlike anything else. Where Guardians is, there's nothing like it. I mean, it's like you can't compare it to movies that came out after it, but it's like Star Wars meets Deadpool. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So that's actually a pretty good. If I can pat myself on the back.
PG-13 version of the combination.
Yeah. Well, if you have an R-rated movie and like a PG movie, you meet right in the middle.
Star Wars PG? Do they have those ratings in 1970?
Yes. It has to be. There's no blood. I mean, you see a little wolf blood on the ground. Like that alone and no curse words will get you worse PG-13.
Yeah, you're probably right. Dark Knight would rate above Wonder Woman for the simple fact of Heath Ledger as a Joker kind of carries it over. But it's right there, man. I mean, would you put it above? What was Bane? Dark Knight Rises?
Probably.
Yeah. See, so I'm saying it's
maybe it's close. As much as that movie had its problems, it was still good.
Until the random bomb.
Yeah, I mean, shit. I have mixed feelings about the third one. Like upon seeing it the first time, it's like, oh shit.
I really like the first one a lot.
Yeah, I like the first one better than the third one.
But this is by far DC's best since Dark Knight. I mean, arguably Dark Knight Rises, but from the new
cinematic universe,
from the new 52, from the, and I just hope they keep it going. I read today that what's the director's name?
Patty Jenkins.
She had to fight for that scene of her in No Man's Land. They didn't want to do it. They said it didn't make sense. But she argued for it, and I guess she storyboarded the whole thing, and she represented it to Warner Brothers, which makes you think that it's not the source material of the director, that it's Warner Brothers pulling strings and saying this has to be here and this doesn't have to be here, that's making movies bad.
Right. I may skip forward then. And I think the best thing about the movie, like that scene is pivotal to like her character arc.
Mm-hmm.
I think like the strongest thing in the movie is her character arc in understanding humans, and it makes sense. It works in a lot of ways. Her being naive, thinking all things are evil, that one person is. Oh, it's not funny because it was.
Yeah.
But one person's responsible, and just seeing the destruction of man, and like thinking that one person can stop it, and Chris Pine being like the voice of reason behind it. Her trying to do all she can to save some people, losing people, holding herself accountable, thinking she can stop it by herself, just all that. And just realizing that, there's always going to be hate and war, and that love is the only power that can stop it. And it sounds kind of, on the nose, kind of stupid, but it fit in the context of the movie so well. I thought that was like its strongest suit. That it actually had like a moral and like a message, kind of. Mm-hmm. And it just fit her character so well that I thought that tied it together better than like what was happening on screen, kind of.
There were a few moments I felt she had a very good showing of emotion, like from an acting standpoint, like when Chris Pine died.
My favorite
spoiler.
That stuff. Like I was just
spoiler. We didn't say any specifics yet. I was going to say
talked about Ares as being the major villain in the fight at the end.
They reference Ares at the very beginning of the whole movie.
Well, anybody who listens to this should know.
First 5 minutes. I was just about to say spoilers. I can be angry. I run this thing. I can be angry or whatever. I want to be angry.
Robert can be angry.
You can put in the title, spoiler.
Yeah, no, I will. I was going to say spoiler and then let us continue to talk about things.
We should talk about that before. Like, the non-spoiler review and then the spoiler. That's my absolute favorite scene from the movie.
Does she have to get some sort of sacrifice to get all her abilities, or is that canon? I don't know.
I don't think she's like the Hulk.
Wait, what was your favorite part?
When Chris Pine, about the 30 seconds where Chris Pine made peace with himself and committed suicide, and then her busting out of there fucking distraught and running super fast and just knocking people fucking out of the way.
Yeah, that was.
I was like, just visually also because the colors were going crazy, and you just everything's blurry except for her, just as a scene in the movie.
Every time she fought, man.
Oh, for sure. But that part alone, because the music literally flared there. It flared a couple times. Mm-hmm. I don't know if it played her theme in that.
Speaking of the theme really fast, I love her theme
song.
Oh,
me too.
It is fantastic.
And when it first played, I think it may have got overused slightly because it played 3 times by the end. But when she first singing German's ass, in whatever town,
Well, that whole scene in the town was great because you finally got to see her full
legit
like training ability.
Yeah.
And then she's lifting tanks and stuff.
Yeah, I thought that like the action like it picked up there. It became what like Batman was in Batman versus.
Hopefully
Superman.
they can keep it going.
What do you think about her or Chris Pine's friends? That cast they kind of had
good.
tagged along.
Can somebody look up? And this is going to go back to I guess it might be whitewashing. Can you look up to see if that guy that was the Native American was actually Indian or Native American? Sorry,
He looked like it. What do you think he was?
I'm just curious. Well, I only say this because the guy that plays the main guy on Fear the Walking Dead, he's a Maori.
Okay.
But he's played Hispanic people. He's played Middle Eastern people. He's played.
I know what guy that is.
Yeah, and I'm just curious as to.
His name is Eugene Braverock.
Okay, I was just curious.
What do you think he is now?
He was in The Revenant too.
Well, I wasn't sure what he
They made a
was.
sequel?
Stupid.
No, and the other guy from Trainspotting.
Yeah.
Ewan Bremner.
And he played what he is. He's a Scot.
Yeah, and what about the other guy? I hadn't seen him in.
He looks like
His name is
I've seen him.
Saeed.
Semi.
His name in the thing is Samir.
I've seen him in a couple things. He's
I
been
like
like a
the-
terrorist in a couple movies.
I like the supporting cast.
Yeah,
I
I would
thought they.
say that group is what the Howling Commandos and Captain America should have been.
Yeah.
They didn't have the Howling. I thought they were like a shoo-in in that movie. They didn't get enough screen time.
Yeah.
It kind of was just for the montage sake. This group actually had each one character had their own
I like that it
like-
showed that the Scottish guy struggled with being a sniper.
PTSD.
Yeah.
And they didn't know what that was back then.
Yeah.
So you said he's haunted.
No, they did. Well, maybe World War II. It was called shell shock.
It was after World War. Like it became the real thing in like after Vietnam. It was never diagnosed. People just thought it was.
No, what they called it shell shock. They didn't
Yeah.
know how psychological
Yeah.
it was.
So the fact that he was like he couldn't make the shot or
Yeah.
whatever.
No, it was cool.
Did he get a moment of comeuppance? Did he make any shot that saved anybody? Because I thought it was about to, like it should have came, but I don't think it did.
No.
Like those guys at the end, they were like they hunkered down. They were like kiss their asses goodbye, and I was kind of like somber for a second.
Like Toy Story 3.
Yeah, but I don't think any of them had a moment of like that. Every like in Guardians, every character gets that one moment where they shine for a second.
The Sammy guy had the convincing the guy, because he said he was an actor.
Yeah.
That was his moment. He convinced the guy at the front to let him through the...
Yeah, I mean like at the crux of the like action, but here's a problem I had. Not a real problem. When we first seen Professor Lupin, we were like, oh yeah, he's in this movie. And to be honest, from the moment he's revealed, whenever there's a character revealed, like beginning of the second act, who seems like the nice character, the ally, I know he's evil. I hate to say it, maybe it's just me.
No, I didn't catch that.
You didn't immediately think there's something suspicious. Like
No,
whenever
I was
there's,
just excited that Lupin was in the movie.
whenever there's a character who's too nice to like his own good, there's something bad.
Once he took the phone call and was like, "No, you can't go to this thing," I knew then.
Oh, I figured he was evil in some way. I did not know that he was Ares. I thought that it was going to be debunked that there actually Ares didn't exist. But
His helmet was cool.
I can't like when they showed him young, kinda. I was like, I couldn't imagine him as because I maybe was just so used to like video games or whatever. The God of War being like this big, intimidating guy, and I can't see him as big and intimidating.
Do you know who Ares is to me? I'm sure you guys think of a God of War character.
Yeah.
You mean like you have an actor that you?
Yeah,
relate
yeah,
to?
yeah.
Okay.
Or Hercules. When I used to watch the show as a kid.
Oh, you think of an actor?
Yeah. No, the guy that played...
Woods?
Huh?
You talking about James Woods? Wait, no, that's not
No.
Ares. That's the other guy.
That's Hades. No, I'm talking not the cartoon.
He's talking about the
Hercules:
live-action
The Legendary
TV show.
Journey with Kevin Sorbo.
Oh, I never.
I don't know
There
who
was
played Ares.
There was a guy that played Ares.
Was he a big guy?
No, he just had dark hair. Looked kind of. He did look menacing, but I believe he got drunk on a set and fell off and died.
Oh shit!
Yeah,
You Google it.
but that's what I think of when I think of Ares.
Okay. So when I see Lupin, like I imagine him. I mean, it's just I can't take away like the teacher aspect, him being soft spoken. That when I see him as Ares, I imagine somebody who's red hot, on fire, fiery temper, and I was like, he's got to be like the nicest Ares I've ever seen. He was almost. I mean, he had lightning powers. I was like, he's almost not Ares. He could be just a god. But I do like his armor. I thought that was cool looking.
Yeah,
It reminded me of
And
like
and
Dark Souls or something.
it was definitely a way to hide that he's an older guy.
Yeah.
Too.
When they showed him young, was that just me imagining that he looked way younger?
No, he looked way younger.
Oh, he
had brown hair.
Did they do what the Marvel thing did, you think? They CG'd him?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I couldn't tell if it's just makeup.
No, they CG'd him. And it wasn't, I immediately thought of, like, David Wenham, like, from, I don't know.
300?
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's what I thought of when I saw him younger.
He might have made a good God of War.
He was the best part of Iron Fist.
Yeah.
Like, by far.
Daredevil. Yeah. You don't watch it, no.
No.
Every scene that
You
he
know what
was
you're talking
in.
about, David Wenham?
The name sounds familiar, but I
He
can't
played
put a face to it.
Faramir. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
Oh, in 300, he was the narrator.
Yeah.
Or,
with missing eye.
yeah. He was awesome in Iron Fist.
I know who that is then.
Um,
I wasn't a fan of the casting for that character. It was just,
Iron Fist?
No, for Ares. It seemed a little out of place to me, but
Wasn't that the point?
I don't know. It didn't. I don't know.
Is this another casting issue? Is the guy who played the general? He's been the villain in everything he's ever been in. So I can't not see young William Stryker or the vampire
you're right, that
in
was-
40 Days of Night, or he's been a villain in multiple things. And I was like, this guy gets a lot of play as a villain in movies. So I couldn't unsee him from other things.
Uh-huh.
So it didn't help. I like them. Like I've seen in other shows, but the mask that the lady had, like her face was fucked up.
Uh-huh.
It's such an odd thing, and when you see it, you're like taken by it. Like so.
I would have been so. You knew the whole time you were going to see the face.
obviously.
But the
Anytime you
longer
see,
it kept going and going and going, I'm like, they better show this fucking person's face.
Yeah.
It's like, have you ever seen Hot Tub Time Machine?
yeah. Was the arm missing?
Yeah,
when
the
they
whole
kept-
time it's like, when's this arm going to happen? When's this arm going to happen? You knew it was coming,
Yeah.
but yeah.
I thought the actress that played Dr. Poison?
Uh-huh.
I thought that. Do you know who Alison Brie is?
Yeah.
I thought that was her in the trailers for a while, and then I actually looked it up. But just this side of her face with the like hood on, I thought that was
Is
her.
she a nobody?
This
Alison
lady.
Brie. Yeah.
She's been in. She has 44 credits. I'm looking for anything.
Significant.
Yeah.
All the scenes in London were awesome. Like we've seen from the trailer, the little secretary lady making quips.
What is she from?
No idea.
Really?
Which one?
The secretary.
The little tubby secretary lady.
That I put that on my thing. That's the blonde girlfriend from Shaun of the Dead.
Is it?
It is. I looked it up.
What?
Here, I'll show you. Look.
You come back in here this minute, David.
Oh, you mean, yeah.
David's girlfriend.
Yeah.
Let me
I
see
was
the
thi- I
photo
was
real
thinking-
quick.
Yeah.
I wrote that in my notes for this specific purpose.
That's tricky
Nice.
because I imagine her as like a way older lady. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
that's
The only thing I can see on this other.
how'd she become a fat little plump lady?
She's older, man.
Yeah.
How long ago was Shaun of the Dead?
Um,
Like 2003.
2004.
I was gonna say it wasn't.
But even that, like, it's 13 years ago. Wow.
She's 44.
Wow. Well, she was funny as shit in this movie.
43,
I hope
44.
they get some more roles because she wasn't in it for that long. But you know, it's one of those roles. Every like line she had was basically
Yeah.
funny.
Game of Thrones one episode.
I felt that in this. I don't know. This isn't important in terms of the character, but I thought that maybe that she would have been bigger. Gal Gadot's character. Is it Gadot or Gadot?
It's Godot.
So I felt that she could have been, because like all the other,
She gained 20 pounds of muscle.
I just saw all the other Amazons were like big, and I just thought she
Big old burly women.
Not a whole lot of
I
bigger, just-
guarantee you that in real life she's taller than like 90% of the women. She's 5'10".
I'm sure. I don't know. I
I
just
did see her standing next. Oh,
She's tall.
who posted something on their Facebook of some behind the scenes of the Justice League? You guys see anything?
no.
I don't know if it was not mutual friends, but it is. Who's Khal Drogo? I don't know his real name.
Jason Momoa.
Jason Momoa. Her,
Godot. Yeah.
her and the Flash standing like on a green screen.
Oh, I saw that.
Oh, when he's flipping the trident.
Yeah.
But I was noticing because I know he's a big guy, but she stood. She looked almost as tall as him.
Well, she's probably I don't know.
If she's as tall as me and he's only 6 foot, like 1 or 2. But that I thought it was really funny. He just took a sword and started charging.
I don't know. I thought she could have been a bit thicker. But for someone who has god strength, it doesn't really matter.
Jason Momoa is 6'4", so he's 6 inches taller than her.
Well, if you've seen this thing,
so is Ben Affleck. Ben
that much
Affleck's 6'4".
smaller than him to me.
Do you think that they make, because she has an accent? Everyone on the island had an accent.
I think they told everybody to
have an
match
accent
her
to match her accent.
That's my impression.
Yeah, probably. I mean,
like, this is the new Amazonian accent because she speaks with
Kit
her
Harington,
accent from...
5'8".
Who?
Jon Snow,
Oh,
still taller than you.
yes.
Why'd you bring that up?
It just gave, like, if you look up on Google people's height, it'll tell you. People also search for. Just so we know, Batman is taller than Superman. Henry Cavill is only 6'1".
Oh my god.
Last little point on mine is I want to see a Wonder Woman Superman fight somehow.
That's not gonna happen.
Well,
Like, Superman gets resurrected evil?
something. Maybe they do some weird Bizarro thing. I don't know, but I want to see it.
That would be interesting.
Now I'm going to rewatch the last scene of Batman vs Superman.
I just watched it last week.
See, Katrina told me that she started watching it.
Yeah.
Did you guys finish it?
Yeah.
What'd you think?
I haven't watched it
Later?
in theaters.
I've watched it 3 times now. It is still a fucking shitty ass movie.
It's worse than Suicide? Because I watched that the second time. and
No,
I
it's
couldn't
better than
take it.
Suicide.
Yes, it is better than Suicide.
I see, but I don't have any problems with I don't have problems with Ben Affleck as Batman. I didn't like what was the bad guy at the end? Doomsday. But I liked them battling Doomsday. I just didn't really like Doomsday.
It just came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Well, the fact that they showed it at the con trailer 2 years ago was
the
a
fact
terrible
that it's
decision.
an Urukai, half cave troll thing. I mean, it looked like a fucking cave troll. Katrina's like, hey, it's a cave troll.
It's not
Yeah.
a good villain because it comes out of nowhere. There's no setup. You don't know what its limitations are.
It feels like Venom. Like they just threw him in at the end.
Yeah.
I don't know. I actually didn't have a problem with Jesse Eisenberg either. I think he plays like the kind of manic.
He played the Joker.
He would have been okay Joker, wouldn't he?
Could have been.
But that's what he played. He wasn't playing
Lex Luthor.
the typical Lex Luthor.
Yeah.
Would you rank Man of Steel over Batman vs Superman? Have you seen Man of Steel?
Yeah.
Would you rank it over
I
that?
like Man of Steel.
It's okay.
I would put Man of Steel above Batman vs Superman.
I couldn't just because it had no Batman in it.
Yeah.
I think on the whole it was a better movie.
Probably.
But
Well, because it was shorter too. It wasn't so lengthened out
concise.
and
It
drawn
has-
out.
it's cool points.
For me, it's probably that first of all, I really don't like Superman. In Batman vs Superman, I can pick out things that I like. I like the Bruce Wayne origin thing. I like that scene. I like Bruce Wayne just running into the rubble to help people. And the end sequence, them fighting and stuff, was really cool. But with Man of Steel, it was just kind of like average the whole way for me.
I liked his origin. I like how he just wandered and was helping people, and the whole Krypton scene.
I don't remember that.
The movie was.
I haven't watched the movie in
Okay, the first
quite a
15
while.
minutes was like on Krypton with what's his name?
Uh,
Fighting around the world with Tugga.
Gladiator. Russell Crowe.
Russell Crowe.
The Suicide Squad is still the worst out of the new movies.
that's
though.
a bad movie.
Agreed. It's funny. 'cause
The
I
first
remember,
20 minutes was fun.
Defending it.
Yes.
There are scenes you nitpick. I mean, that work that are fun, but man, on the whole, nah.
I think if they got the right director and did a Deadshot movie, that it would be very entertaining.
I can see.
Get rid of a lot of the supernatural shit that was in Suicide Squad and just have like a down to earth, like, because I liked Will Smith as Deadshot. I had no problem with him.
If you made like a Deadpool type movie with Deadshot,
It wouldn't even need to be funny.
no, I mean just
Yeah.
he gets his
Oh,
own
I
movie.
so hope, like with Guardians 2, they replicated the first one and it was good. I hope Deadpool lives up to the first one.
Yeah, me too.
Especially since, man, they're gonna have Cable and Domino. They're building their whole franchise off of that.
Smart.
What?
If they continue to do
Yeah.
it.
Wonder Woman, we done? No.
No, I mean,
I'm not a fan of like really contrite plot points, but when they see a German bomber, there's a bomber, and it's already like you can't stop it. It's already going to
It's on
take
a timer.
off. It's the bombs are. There's no bomber that exists like that. They set a timer just in case like something happens to it. That's the dumbest fucking shit I've ever heard of. Like, what if the plane like gets delayed? Like, oh wait, we popped a tire. Let's replace it real quick. Sorry guys, the bomb's on a timer. You're fucked. That's stupid as fuck. Nobody does that. And then I was like, if they really wanted to save the character, like plot point wise, Chris Pine could have had a parachute. There's always parachutes in planes, and just threw a bomb like in there and jumped
A
out.
timed bomb?
Yeah, or a grenade, anything. He dropped a grenade early in the movie. I was like, I like the fact that his character died, and he died sacrificing himself.
Yeah.
Like, that was his character. Like, he tried to ignore the war. But it is still, like, a little bit of just screenwriting, like, I don't know, easy way out. Like, oh, well, you can't actually crash the plane because it's on a timer, which doesn't make fucking sense. But, you know, I look past it because it was a cool moment. Like, him killing himself, that's a really cool moment. That's
weird complaints. Like, has there never been a bomb that's on a timer?
In a plane,
Every
like,
bomb's on a timer.
I mean,
no, when you're dropping, like, an ordnance out of a plane, you don't need a timer. That doesn't... Like,
were they dropping them? Or were they crashing the plane?
I
I guess even if they crashed the plane, it would have blown up.
If it blew up, but then the gas didn't spread, or unless it... I don't know, if him
You'd have to
blowing
blow it
up...
up in the air. That's why it was timed.
They were flying into London. And then they
I
were
thought it was flying to the front to kill everybody.
No, they were flying to London. It was on the map. It had it circled, and it had a path to London.
Oh, why did they say everybody on the front's going to die? They kept reiterating that. Like, doesn't matter whose side they're on. Everybody on the front's going to...
They didn't know it that they were going to London towards the end.
Oh. Then he could have just crashed in the... just like Captain America did in...
In the ice?
Yeah, because they got a long channel of water to cross. But...
And see, there wouldn't have been that issue with Haley Atwell being 100 when he comes out of the ice because Wonder Woman doesn't age.
Yeah.
There's a plot point that Captain America fixed.
I like that romance between Chris Pine and Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
Like, legitimately, because he's trying to teach her about the world, and just, it worked. And then even, like, the flashback where when you watch it straight through, you can't understand what he's saying, but then once he dies, when she thinks about it, she hears what he said when he left her. I was like, that was actually really cool. Like, whoever called that in editing or directing, that worked very well. It's very powerful.
Not to mention you had a young couple, like, all over each other in the fucking movie theater.
When you saw it?
Yeah.
Oh.
He's talking about me.
Oh.
Corey's like rubbing her leg and being all nauseating. I want to fucking vomit.
At least you didn't sit between them.
I should have. That would have been great. No, she's a little shy.
So what else about the movie?
I don't have anything.
I give the movie an A. I liked it a lot.
Is there no other better way to take out the sniper? I was like, that's a good poster moment.
I don't think she need the guy out of the building.
Yeah, I was like, they lift up this thing, like, okay, they're gonna walk to the building and then go in and go up the stairs and shoot this guy. No, like,
you love the setup and payoff. They did it earlier in the movie.
I will give you that. That does make sense. But the guys didn't know that, right?
Chris Pine's a smart guy. No, he was there. Chris Pine was there.
Because remember, what's her face ran? It was Robin Wright's character, wasn't it? That jumped.
No, it was the mom that did it.
That turned and shot the 3 arrows.
Or maybe it was Robin Wright.
Because she jumped in front of the bullet right after that.
Okay.
But Chris Pine was there, so yes, he could have.
Actually, okay, I'll watch that complaint because I forgot that he saw that. I thought that was during training. But, okay, that's fine. No, it still should have been a better way to take out that sniper. I mean,
Since they brought another sniper with them.
Yeah, but they all had guns, didn't they? Yeah, whatever.
And then all those people died anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was sad.
In terms of, like, location, it was kind of funny in my head, like, the whole front, hundreds of miles, whatever. But they broke through one line, freed this town, and then, like, it seemed like 5 minutes away, there was a whole German high command at a castle. And they weren't worried that the line got broken through. So they fired a couple, like, new test shells at the town. Everybody's happy. They drive back to the town on gas, and they drive back to the German secret base. Like, it seems like all within a couple miles of it. It's like, man, if the line got broken through, you would think the German high command would be, I don't know, have a little bit of more, like, defense. So not anybody could just drive up to the castle or whatever. But, you know, this is just, it's a movie. But if it's World War One, what did I see? and maybe it would be like a sequel, but so it was like, if Ares was responsible for World War One, fucking who's responsible for World War Two? What the fuck was she doing during that war? She was around in Earth during the whole time of that.
Yeah.
Unless this is what I think, in the alternate history of whatever.
It Comes at Night is dropped.
She actually did do something.
Was that
I'm
like
trying
80-something? 87?
83.
I'm trying to talk.
Sorry,
Here.
continue.
So, World War II. You think she fought in that?
I don't know.
Think she ran to Captain America?
I don't know. I mean, they're both wearing like red, white, and blue. Mm-hmm. I guess hers is like.
It's red, white, and gold.
I was gonna say
People were mad about that.
You like the rope? I thought
it actually, as cheesy as the lasso of truth is, they pulled it off very well.
Yeah, a little too shiny for my taste, but like in terms of like getting Chris Pine to say so, like just his face, like, "Ooh, that's hot." Oh, ooh, and then.
How do you think they're gonna pull off the invisible jet?
Not.
I want to say I was listening to another podcast and they said that the director said they wanted to do it.
Then my guess, Stark Tech. Or not Stark.
Yeah.
Wayne Tech.
Wayne Tech, yeah.
Yeah, 100%. It'll be like the Quinjet.
Iron Man and Batman are basically the same character.
Yeah.
Except just one's happy and one's miserable.
If the X-Men can have it, then that's how it will be technology.
That's how I imagine it looking, is like the X-Wing but invisible.
Yeah, Quinjet, right?
What's the origin of that?
What?
You're thinking Star
This
Wars.
invisible jet.
It's a Wonder Woman thing.
But how... Can she fly?
I don't know if she can do the
Hulk jump?
Hulk jump, or if she can actually fly.
The Hulk jump's what she does in the movie, though.
What? Okay.
So, at least in this continuum, she can't.
Do you think the sequel... Because there will be a sequel. I think we can say that pretty convincingly.
Will it be another origin story, or...
Well, do you think they're going to do...
The director is already signed on for the second one.
Do you
It's
think they're going to go World War II? Do you think they're going to do a war? Or do you think they're going to jump into just an
I think it's going to be Justice League, and then her sequel will be post Justice League. That'd be my guess. I don't think it's going to be another historical piece.
Side note: Did you either of you read about Zack Snyder
And his daughter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now
a few weeks ago. That sucks.
And now absolutely
She did it like a month and a half ago.
And in March.
He tried to work through it.
Yeah.
And now Joss Whedon is taking over.
I guess Joss Whedon had already been brought on to do
Catwoman.
Batgirl.
Batgirl. Sorry, that's what it was.
I'd much rather see him do Catwoman than Batgirl.
You don't know how cool Batgirl could actually be.
No,
Joss Whedon doing it.
Does it spoiler, does it end if they did a Batgirl movie, does it end with
her getting shot?
Oh, that'd be cool.
That'd be fucking badass.
And no, because he's known for creating really strong female characters, and I don't think he would create this character from nothing just to have her get shot.
Yeah.
She did fly at the end.
If it was, excuse me, this spoilers, you probably haven't seen it. If it's the $1 Million Baby of superhero movies, that'd be fucking cool.
If it led into like the second
You know
Justice
what
League where she's Oracle.
You know what happens?
Yeah, she falls on and hits her head on a stool and gets paralyzed.
Yeah. Do you know when that happens in the movie?
It,
Or like, have you watched it?
it's at the fight, right?
Yeah. But it's like the end, at the end of the second act, and the whole third act is just fucking her in the hospital, and it's...
Oh, I thought it was at the end of the movie.
I think there's still more time, because her family was a piece of shit, but it led to Clint Eastwood performing euthanasia on her.
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, and that was it was like
I need
his.
to rewatch this.
It's such a good movie. It led through his like internal drama, but that her family was trying to.
She won best. Did she win? No, she won best actress for Boys Don't Cry.
And she flew at the end.
Wonder Woman.
Yes.
Oh, she jumps
flew.
up and does her.
No, it's not even that. It's
at the end.
No, before that, when Ares is hovering in the air, she's hovering right next to him, across from each other. They're directly across from each other, both in the air, and she's not like slowly falling. She's in the air, suspended in midair.
I'm trying to remember, but did she take off like horizontally from there?
Which would completely disregard the need for an invisible jet.
I can't remember. I would have argued that she was slow falling. You don't think?
To me, it looks like she was in midair.
I remember she was striking a Jesus pose.
But
after that,
to the best of my knowledge, it's the Hulk jump.
yeah, because she did that multiple times in the movie.
Yes.
What do you think about the Germans not being able to shoot anything but a goddamn shield?
Well, she's bulletproof anyways, right?
I took it that bullets would actually hurt her, just like the Amazon.
Yeah, but she wasn't.
She never got hit.
She was a god anyway, so I mean...
You don't know, though. She never got hit. She had to deflect bullets if she...
She had to deflect bullets because she thought she would be hurt. She didn't know she was part god.
We still don't know, though, that gods can't die from a bullet in this world, I guess.
That whole scene where she's running through the no man's land and hitting the bullets, I didn't like that. I liked the act of it, but just where she's flinging her little hands back and forth.
Because you just imagine the actor on set with a green screen going.
I just did. It looked awkward. I don't know what.
I didn't get that either.
Like I didn't like it.
I'm halfway between it. Like it seems to me like I can see. Like I was just like,
if we're living in the reality that at the beginning she saw that bullet moving slowly, then everything's moving slowly and she could do whatever she wants.
my first instinct was, why is she doing it with her hands when she's got a shield on her back? And then she pulls it out, but the whole time, like as soon as I jumped on No Man's Land, it's shield. I imagine she's as bulletproof in my mind as like Captain America is, where you think if he took a bullet, it would probably hurt him a lot, but maybe not kill him, but avoid bullets at all costs.
Like a shot from an energy blaster.
Yeah, that's how they get away with it in movies. The heroes get hit with something non-lethal like that.
Well, so give the movie a rating. I already gave it an A.
So we're going to continue this thing where it's a letter or the percentage or a star.
I already took the letter, so you can decide what you're going to give it.
I'm gonna say it's like a 9.2 out of 10.
Which is funny because it's 93% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Okay. That's fine. I would say
You gave it a percentage?
I would
You
say
said 9.2.
I would say it's like an 9 out of 10, but it's a little bit. I don't want to quite give it the lowest A minus. Still, it was a really good movie, especially compared to DC, what it's been.
I hope Spider-Man.
The music was really good in it, and when their theme came on, I felt it. Man, this is just, I guess, just me because you guys didn't feel it. The second and third, thirds, it was like roller coaster. I liked it, but the first one, I was like, I want to get her to get off the island. I want it to get moving. I felt like that was the Kickstarter to her adventure. And it was probably on the island for at least, 30-something minutes? 40?
20 or 30 minutes.
I felt like it wasn't super slow because shit was happening. But it was like some exposition. Let's give some more exposition. And it just, I don't know.
Well, they transitioned from her training because then she looks at the cliff and then Pine crashes and then it went pretty smoothly
Chris
from
Pine's
there.
every line he had was gold to me. And I love Chris Pine. So good casting on that part, I thought. I don't know who else would have been casted, but he was good.
There's only so many Chris's in Hollywood.
Yeah.
It would have been fine having Chris Evans in the same role.
I would recast Ares, I guess, if that's what we're talking about. But everybody else I think was pretty good.
What's your rating? He's going to say 92%.
Oh,
or
I
93%.
recast the villain too, sorry. The German.
Yeah. The only thing I would have changed would cut out that one stupid fucking scene.
I guess my plot is I didn't like any scene where they went back to him and Madame Gas. It was just dumb. It's so cliche, German villain creating a gas. It's just and considering it wasn't even the main villain, didn't even add up to it. I was
I'll go the star route, and I'll say. I mean, it's honestly, I think I'd have to watch it again to give it an A. If I could give it 4.3 stars or something, I would do it. An 89%.
I've never heard anyone breaking stars.
I know
in point threes. I've heard stars in half.
I wanna see it again.
It's because Brian doesn't like the fact that it's a good movie. That's the woman's the main superhero.
Is it?
That is absolutely untrue. I enjoyed it a lot.
Is it almost sexist in itself that people make a big deal that it is a woman's movie, a woman directed it and yada yada yada. I've heard that so much in news. I'm
I think it's because
it should be considered on its own merit. Whether I'm just saying she's a great director. Obviously, she made a good movie. But it's wow, we're surprised a woman can make such a good movie. It's
if you look at it that way, I mean, if you just look at it as an accomplishment, then it's an accomplishment.
It's just, it seems to be, not, it seems to be the forefront of, wow, it made money. The first movie that ever made money for a woman director. It's that's cool. It's just, you should look at it through a different lens. I wouldn't care if a man, a woman, a transsexual directed it. If it's a good movie, it's a fucking good movie. It could be a 10-year-old kid directing it,
Some people don't look at it like that.
Yeah, it's so weird. Would you not go see a movie because a woman directed it? Would that hold you back?
Would
No,
we?
not at all.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, or...
But I mean, people won't go see a Roman Polanski movie because he's an alleged child
That's
molester.
a different. It's like OJ directing a movie.
Yeah, I understand. I mean, but there are situations where people won't go see a movie because of a director.
Are there any
or because of an actor
that you wouldn't go see that because a certain director?
I don't know about it. I don't know if I wouldn't go see an U Bowl movie. Does he even make movies anymore?
I think he retired.
When you collectively made like the worst movies
He
ever.
made movies like that because he made a lot of money off them because tax loopholes and stuff. I read a whole article on it once. Yeah,
The whole one?
a whole article. Yeah.
You know what, guys?
I wonder what you're gonna say.
I'm done with it.